Back in the field with the track stars, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. What's good?
All right, this episode is sponsored by Flavorfest 2021. Y'all, we already said Trackstarz will be in the building. It's October 7th through the 10th. Make sure you are there, Tampa, Florida. Trackstarz are going to be helping out with the Battle of the Elements. We're also going to be conducting a workshop on the music business track called Staying on the Rails. So make sure you get out to Flavorfest, Tampa, Florida, this October 7th through the 10th. Let's go.
Tampa photo?
Florida, Jeremiah, Florida.
Sounds like you said photo. Tampa photo.
Oh, no.
All right, guys. So I feel bad for the people that were like, man, I'm tired of Kanye. Well,
Yay day.
today we're gonna be starting with your boy finally released the album Against His Will. Donda is out now.
And tell me what happened. Did you say it got released early?
He said it got released early.
It's sent to the DSPs. It came out last Sunday.
We know how this works.
Yesterday?
We're a distributor. So I don't know how you can't just push the button like that. Like,
no, it's got to be a couple of days.
You know what I mean? I'm sure he could do it immediately. Like, he's got clout like that. Universal has clout like that. But I mean, he had to know something.
Well, I think Boo, who is his I think the president of Def Jam, who is Akon brother, or I think he's some type of management with Kanye or something. He deals with Kanye day to day. Was like, it's coming out, right? I think deep down Kanye wanted to compete with Drake. Honestly, he wanted him and Drake to have that same day and see who the man is. And I think Def Jam was like, I don't want you to deal with this. I don't want this to hurt you. So let's let you come out. Yeah, you get out in front of the storm and you get your days. Because I'm gonna say in the entertainment report, prior to all the stuff with Drake dropping, Kanye broke some records for his first days and for like being number one on Apple Music on multiple countries around the world. He was number one. Like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think at the end of the day, it was a good thing for him. It's a good week. I mean, early in a good week. You know what I'm saying? Are we going to talk about the album, or we're going to
dissect it?
So my other question. The other question is there supposed to be cover art, or is that it?
I mean,
that's the rumor, because it was two. Originally, it was two cover arts. One art was like people floating in the air, like almost looking like Rapturous. It was the original art form, and then another one was a painting of a woman. It was like a painting a woman made for him of her mother that passed or something like that. But it was like artistic, and he was going to use that. And then all of a sudden, it just went black. Like, it was just, maybe that's how he feels towards this whole situation with his mom. Is like, I just feel like in a dark place. You know what I mean?
All right, so we haven't done a dissect in a while. Obviously, today is going to be all about who had the better album, Kanye versus Drake. They're still going at each other's heads as we speak. A song just got leaked like a couple hours ago. Yeah. Which is crazy. And
which backfired on Drake.
Yeah,
people like, yo, this joint is fire, son. Thank you for releasing this.
I might leak it at the end before they shut us down.
Nah, I got too much cursing.
That's true.
And I ain't talking about 3 Stacks part.
I know. This in a way today feels like, hey, if CHH can't win this battle, then like hang it up, bro. Like we need to just wrap it up, because if the culture's still not feeling this and this is the best we got, it's not gonna work out, fellas. It's been a good run.
15 years.
Don't it feel like that?
Yes. It
feels like this is for survival right here. If we can't.
Well, let's be honest though. I think Kanye, the album itself is a good album. I originally told somebody it's 8 out of 10 to me. It was an 8 out of 10 album. I think the album itself, it has moments on it where it's like, okay, this is fire, and it has moments on it it's like you could have left that off. Like, honestly, the part 2s can have just been one song, in my opinion.
Yeah, just make it longer,
just make one
and then just do a radio edit for the radio.
Yeah. And I think the thing was Jail. The only reason why Jail wasn't together was because I think the Baby and Megan Thee Stallion situation and Jay-Z in the middle of that would have been like, nah. So I think that, but all those part twos could have just been one big record. I think first off, either Jay Electronica used to be a Christian or something, because every time he does a song about God, Jesus, it almost sounds like, I remember what you said about your dad saying like, yo, when he talked about Chance, like, yo, this guy knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And for some strange reason, he always does that when he gets on songs about faith and stuff.
It's possible,
even though he's a
you
nation of Islam.
Yeah, but you got to remember that Islam, I mean, shares a lot of the same facts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Abraham, Jesus is in the Quran, Mary's in the Quran. Like, it's all the same facts. It just diverges on the deity of Jesus. Is Jesus God or not? Is he the who we're supposed to be following? So I think he just studied. He's well studied. So it's the same as Farrakhan. Farrakhan could get up in front of your church, and if you didn't know who he was, you would think he was a Christian.
Fact.
So I think it's the same thing.
Yeah, so I think that's one thing. Of course, Jay-Z tried to do something, but if you don't know theology, if you don't know what he's talking about, because he's talking 5% God body, you know what I'm saying? So Jay
did a better Nation of Islam impression than he did a Christian impression.
Yeah. Basically,
he's better. He's better at that than he is at
Well, God body. What else am I saying? 5%er. Like he did a 5% thing, mixing in stuff. So that's what it was. I don't know, man. I think Kanye gave the best of both worlds. I think he tried to give the best to the young generation by having the Dirks, the Travis Scotts, the Vivos, who else was on here? Baby Keem. He had all these people a lot of young guys. Yeah. But then for the older generation, he had Jay, the Locks, Jay Electronica. He was rapping on certain records, like really like rapping. Rapping, really rapping. You know what I'm saying? On a Lil Baby as well, and the Baby for the young. So he had a best of both worlds. My only problem with Kanye in this album was this, and he's been doing this since maybe Ye, I would say. He's been having production where the production doesn't he have moments that sound current, and then he will have like this church / CCM white church sounding, not drums, but like melodies. And it bothers me because
like what?
Like he would have I'm trying to think of what song. Like church organs. Let me see, hold on real quick. He would have some songs like Junior. Love the record. I like it, but it sounds like a church, like somebody in church over an 808. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like he's been doing that a lot with Air, Air Sims, and it's just very what? But I think the problem I have with that is because then he'll produce a Pusha T album, and the Pusha T album sound like something today, and I'm like, so you don't think you can? Your music can't be today, or it has to be extremely churchy. So I think that's one of my biggest things about that. That's my only takeaway. That's what I would say. But I think it was a decent album. I mean, I didn't have a problem with it. I like Off the Grid. I like Hurricane. Praise God. I like Believe What I Say. Heaven and Hell was all right. Keep My Spirit Alive is one of my favorite records on this joint. He had Griselda on there. Mm-hmm. So I mean, that's who the other people for the older generation that like bars. He had Griselda on there. People know who Griselda is. So I think it was a mixture of old and new. And I think his sound was more current. I think what people like, and I think that's what Drake has over him, is that Drake has current sounds that his music can just be played anywhere. Whereas the average listener will listen to this and be like, oh, this is church music, if y'all get what I'm saying, on some of these songs.
All right, Ryan, what you think?
Yeah, I was just telling Jeremiah that, I listened to both projects, and last night while I was at a restaurant,
don't talk about Drake's yet. Just focus on Donda.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I like Donda. I did like it. My favorite songs were Jail Part 2. Let's see, I actually had the track list up so I could see it. It was Hurricane, like that. I liked Off the Grid. I liked Junior. I liked Jesus Lord, Part 2. Yeah, so it was a lot. I like Come to Life. I like Pure Souls. But there were some things that I really liked about the album. Like I love the feature with Larry Hoover Jr. Like that to me was really really good. Just hearing that story. I love the part where Kanye's mom was talking about Kanye. Um, I particularly appreciated this project because I just think Kanye is really creative, right? And when I hear that project, and I don't mind the organ sounds because that's kind of where I grew up, Jeremiah.
Yeah.
So I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to get gospel to appreciate this project as much as hip hop would. That's what he's trying to do. He's blending these worlds together. So I'm okay with it. I think Kanye focused on telling a lot of stories, and that's what I really like. I like hearing the art, the art, authentic art of the story. I also like the fact that he's not bragging as much as a lot of these rappers brag. I mean, there's a couple of things here and there, but I just appreciate the fact that he can get on a project. I really appreciate the fact that there was no cursing on my version or all the versions, I guess y'all said. So there's a lot that I appreciated about it.
Did
having
like the
not
chant? Did
the
like the
Donda
Donda
chant?
chant? Okay.
No.
We
It was
had
a
a
little
little
freaky.
controversy about that today. Nah,
Yeah,
this
it was
week
a little
people were talking
weird.
about
It was
that,
a little
yeah.
weird. It was a little weird. But he talked about his relationship with Kim. He talked about his kids. He talked about, a lot about God. And so I can appreciate the project because here's the thing: when I compare it to a lot of stuff out there, it's decent for people to listen to. And that's what I really care about, is that our whole goal with Trackstarz has been to make God's music the mainstream and the mainstream the alternative. And this gets us a closer step to that, where you flood the project with a lot of God, a lot of Jesus, and living right and doing the right things. It helps the project, it helps the culture, it helps a lot of things, in my opinion.
All right. So somebody asked me this week. He said, this is Casey Weed. I don't know how to say it exactly, but he asked me what deems a rap album Christian rap. And I thought it was a good question because I stated earlier this week, I said, no matter what you think about him, when we started Trackstarz, I would have never thought that one of the biggest artists in history would be making back-to-back Christian rap albums. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. But his question made me think, and I ended up saying, I would say if you're intentionally making a God-honoring album with multiple songs with obviously biblical motivation, that's Christian rap. Now, I want to break that down because I think I've heard some slight, like, oh, we shouldn't be supporting this, versus some people who don't support Christian rap at all trying to make Christian rappers feel bad because Kanye sounded more Christian rap. But I can't.
Sure, you said that so good with a straight face.
I can't judge somebody's heart. Like, if you already don't like Kanye, then you won't see this as being genuine because you don't think he's a Christian anyway.
Yeah.
If you like Kanye, you're kind of excited because this seems like he's going in a good direction, which I would beg to differ on some of that. I don't know Kanye. I don't know if this is a sincere gesture from him or he's trying to manipulate the algorithm or what, All I know is that if you just lay this album down next to some of the best Christian rap albums that are coming out now, I mean, the only thing you could say is, even though he blanked the cursing out, he allowed people to curse on his album. That's it. That's the only thing you could hold him against. But other than that, this album is super Christian rap. Like, and honestly, the other piece of this is a lot of the guys you love, they say the same words Kanye says in private. So I don't see no difference. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I can't hold him to. I don't know if this is real for him or not. I have no idea, and I don't know if it's real for any of these people that we support.
Yeah.
So you just got to go off of what they gave me, and what he gave me was something that sounded sincere to me.
I want to say something, and somebody asked Nicholas asked the question. It says, "Who are the actual Christian features, though?" Okay, that's a very good question to ask. Are we basing somebody's Christian album based off features? Because we've had people in the past. I mean, we've had Cray work with certain people. We've had Andy work with people that if you knew who they were associated with, you would be like, yo, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't know, man. Christian rap, I would love for the I'm gonna say not mighty saved, but like the super Christians to look behind the curtain of the people that they love in this space, and you be shell shocked.
Yeah.
Some of these people, you will be extremely shell shocked on how certain people live their lives and saying they're Christian, and you will be like very disturbed. You'll be not disturbed, but you'll be very like, wow, I didn't know this. Wow, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying trying to expose nobody. I'm just saying that we're watching somebody walk their faith out. You know what I'm saying? We're watching. The world is watching this one person walk their faith out. Whereas a community is watching a few people walk their faith out.
Yeah, and he's done a better job of cleaning it up than most people have. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, how many Christian rappers and Christian artists have we seen even do interviews on this show? Man, Jesus is great. I love the Lord. Man, my heart has changed. And then next thing we know, they're smoking weed, they're having sex, they're cussing, they're denouncing God as Lord and Savior. So it's just like all these different things. Now, the word I hate the most, and I've always hated this word, probably been really quiet about it, is the word super Christian. Hate that word. Because I feel like if you want to call yourself a super Christian, then you won't support any of it. Any of the artists that are out there that don't make music that's 100% focused on Jesus. But you do. And we know this by the numbers. We know that most of these people who are walking around calling themselves Christians, going to church on Sunday morning, wearing these suits and dresses and all this kind of stuff, they listen to this stuff. Outside of Kanye being saved, they still pop on the old albums and listen to the new artists. I mean, I could go up to a Christian probably and ask them questions about artists that I know nothing about, and they could probably give me a earful of who A$AP Rocky is and who Kodak Black and all these. I don't know these people. I know I actually got on a poll one day on Facebook, and somebody was like, called me out. They were like, "You are a liar."
Yeah, me too. I got on a poll one day. I was like, "Dang, Ryan!"
I just saw my Instagram, and it's a dude that.
No. Somebody was like, "Out of these 4 artists, which one has to go?"
Where you going? Sorry.
Nah, somebody was like, out of these 4 artists, which one has to go? And I was like, who are the artists? And they were like, stop playing. And I was like, I don't know any of these guys or their music. I couldn't pick out anyone. $1 million on the table, we're walking away broke because I don't know these artists. So
but
you do.
But that's the thing, Ryan, honestly. That's the thing with church, people who go to church, not church, but like the young Christians that we think are progressive, they're not progressive. Yeah. Their progressive is going to church, listen to have a collection of gospel music or Christian music. But when you when you ask them about Christian rap, they be like, either it's corny or it's not good, and they listening to everything out right now. Like you know, they don't care. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's where I've had situations with people when I'm going through the Shade Room, and the Shade Room posted Kanye's video for Come to Life, right? And everybody in the comments saying demonic, it's demonic, it's demonic, it's demonic. And I'm looking at it like, well, he's on fire. He leaves his old house, his old life, and finds the bride, like almost like the bride of Christ, like not the bride of Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Like Jesus being we being a bride, and Jesus is saving us. And you know what I'm saying? Like I'm seeing it like that because I could see the symbolism what he's trying to do. But everybody else is like, yo, this is demonic. This is demonic. But if you click on these people, they're twerking. They rapping lyrics to other people's stuff. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to judge nobody. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that it almost goes back to Jesus and with the woman is like, if you don't got no sin, cast the first stone, because you're saying, oh, this is demonic, and you're listening to somebody. We can go to Drake or we can go to anybody. You listen to people they're saying demonic stuff, but you quoting it in your hashtag, you put God first and then whatever they saying. You get what I'm saying? And I'm just saying, like, it's inconsistency.
All right,
and
so let's lay off on them. I'm gonna get back to the music. So for me, I like Jail. Jail was super dope to me. Off the Grid was cool. It took me a while to get used to that one, but that was cool. Praise God is good. Jonah's good. Jesus Lord is good. But my Lord, I Need You is good. We'll talk about her in a second. And honestly, Come to Life is my favorite.
Yeah,
that's my favorite song on this.
Come to Life is the Easter Sunday jam for this next year.
I don't even care. The churchiness of it has nothing to do with, like, to me, the music is just, that's the best song on here to me.
I think somebody said Tyler did the piano on that.
I don't care who did it. I don't care.
God used him, huh?
God can use anything. You know what I'm saying?
You sure can.
Yeah.
Whoever did that, God made that person.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the best song on here. So as far as Kanye, I don't know. From watching him, I can't tell where he's at. I'm sensing some. I think Jeremiah was talking to me earlier about this. I'm sensing this Drake thing has him kind of bound to his old life a little bit. And his real self comes out when he's in it with Drake. I think that's where he really is right now. Is what you see when he's talking to Drake. This is more of an aspirational. I want to be this. I don't know if he's actually there yet. So we'll see.
Question, real quick. Jesus is King or Donda?
Donda.
Really?
Yeah.
So are we saying, okay, so collectively, are we saying that we like Christian rap more when the person is putting like their whole life in it versus just like I don't want to say people name in our space, but just like we like Christian elements or Christian words and stuff versus somebody just saying like, because it almost feels like Donda is what the life of Pablo was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And it feels like Jesus is King is like somebody who newly got saved and they like, I got to spread the word about the Lord. Because Jesus King
is more of a gospel album. This is more of a Christian hip hop album.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
I don't like gospel, so that's.
I always said Jesus is King is a good album. I think it was just like starting from like the half of the top, like the first 6 songs to me were amazing. Then after that, I was just like, So you want to talk about Marilyn Manson, Ryan? Because you did some research earlier about Marilyn Manson, and people were talking about Marilyn Manson.
So I was definitely thrown with the whole Marilyn Manson being on stage thing. Because I watched a documentary a long time ago where I thought Marilyn Manson was this big Satanist and this the high priest of the Church of Satan. And just reading an article he did in Rolling Stones, that's not really true. Like that stuff, he was associated with somebody who was a priest of Satan. And I saw he was in that documentary as well. But, I would just like to ask, if I could interview Kanye, one of the questions would be, what was the Marilyn Manson situation all about? You know what I mean? Like, it seems like Marilyn Manson goes between being an actor and then being this rock star, right? And I'm wondering how much of this is like he just wants like the attention on him, because it says he craves attention in this article. He craves attention. He craves success. So to me, I'm like, all right, what was Kanye doing when he brought him out? What is the significance? Because he only says what? Guess I'm going to jail tonight. Is that all he says on the project? Like, he doesn't actually have a real feature that you can pick out. Oh, that's Marilyn Manson. His voice is really.
I don't give 2 craps about Marilyn Manson.
I don't either. But I'm just saying, like, I was referring back to all the posts I was seeing where people put up Marilyn Manson and the baby on this Chicago style reenactment stage or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, that is weird. It was definitely weird because I couldn't understand it.
I don't care at all. I don't care about him.
But I like the song. I think the song I think the baby's verse is good.
Yeah, what's interesting, yeah, he's in a lot of controversy. He did a good job. I still prefer the one with Jay-Z, but he actually
me too.
Rapped very well. I'll say that. He rapped better than I thought he could. I'll say that. The baby.
So, okay, and I asked this question before. I said, do Kanye need Christian hip hop? Like, does he need a Lecrae feature? Does he need an Andy feature?
He doesn't need anything. But what it might do is, if he can get around the people that won't just kind of absorb his greatness and just say whatever he wants to hear. If he could get around people who will be honest with him, it could be good for him as far as staying grounded. But he doesn't need any of this. I mean, it would just be out of the goodness of his heart to pay any attention to Christian hip hop.
I think, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna make the correlation. I think Kanye wants people to come to church or get to know God, regardless of their background, regardless of what they're doing, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas, like, I use our example, right? Excellence. I don't know why y'all keep saying excellence, but it's hilarious. Excellence just wanted people to come to church, blah, 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 right? Destinations wanted people that love hip hop, love spoken word to come out, right?
And our show, a lot of people get frustrated with us because we don't cater to Christian entertainment stuff. Our purpose here, if y'all don't know, just in case you're watching, our purpose here is to bridge people that don't care about this space into it. Yeah. So the line for lines, the dissects, the reactions, Christians like, how come y'all are doing? Hey, it ain't for you. This literally is not for you. We love for you to be here because we want you to help us do what we're trying to do, but we're not gonna just make Christian entertainment content. Like, that's not what we're supposed to be here for. We're here to pass the people who do that the lob. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're throwing the alley, but this is designed for the people that Kanye caters to. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's for them. So that's just what it is. So that destinations model, that's what this is. That's what it's for. Yeah. And I think that's what he is like, I want because everybody on the album, when you really listen to their verse, it's a verse of trying to figure out life. It's a verse of like, God, I messed up, you know. Besides Jay-Z just pride fool, but whatever rap on you tell him, man, you about to rap with Jeezy. He's like, okay, I got a rhyme better than him. But I think everybody else verse was just like, I gotta do better. I gotta throw my sins away. I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if there were other features. Yeah, the other features. I was surprised how much the other features tried to fit the theme. Yeah. So that, I mean, they tried their best to fit what Kanye is doing. You know what I'm saying? So and that's what I'm saying. Like, I would rather somebody be honest to where they are versus lying to where they are. And pretending to be something. Don't you think Kanye is lying just a little bit by blanking out the curse words, making it so Christian rap sounding? Because I mean, you see it in his like the leaked text messages, and that's not how he talks. He's not really living like that, right? Based on the content.
I think that's the remnants that we see of him trying. That's remnants that's like, okay, because honestly, I think that you remember he did that interview with who's the interview with? Was it with Sway? Who's the interview with? Snapped on Sway. You ain't got the answer, Sway. No. I'm talking about the one he did after he got saved. Big Boy. He did with Big Boy. Big Boy. There you go, Big Boy. You could see that there were remnants where he's like, I'm gonna go at this and I'm gonna try, and I think he wants to get better every attempt. I hope that's the case. But this is just, you know, besides everything I just said, this is just for Kanye, just in case he ever sees this. Mm-hmm. I just don't. Part of me is worried that some of this could be posturing for whatever political future he wants. And what's weird to me is the blanking out the cursing. Is that an ode to his mom, or is that more just kind of putting yourself in the right position? What's the purpose of that? Because he curses. Like, so why blank it out? You let everybody else curse on the record. Why blank it out? Like, what's the why do that? Is it purely because you want to make sure this can be heard by everybody? You don't want to hurt the kids' ears or the Christians' ears, or like, but what's the like? If you like, people aren't going. I'm not cursing on my album. Like, but that's how I live in real life. You don't curse at all. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, what's the point of the blanking out? That was confusing. Well, I think at the same time he knows that his new market is what his new market is, and I think that's one. But type stuff. But at the same time, it's like maybe it's one of those things where it's like, you know, somebody asks him like, "Yo, is this a gospel rapper? Why if this is gospel? Why you got cursing on it?" And he's like, "Oh wow, that's real. Let me," you know what I'm saying? But I will say this. It's a challenge, and this would make sense what I'm saying. That's right, B+. That's I think there's a challenge going on where, I don't know if y'all seen this online, where it's like they're trying to get into college, and then they have their grandmothers there, and then they say something to their grandmothers, like they tell their grandmother story, and then they go, "Yeah, my grandmother was out there, you know,
This is the story. You know, my grandmother got saved. She's with Jesus. I mean, she's a Christian. The grandmother shaking her head, and then she goes, my grandmother was out there. She was in them streets. She was a prostitute, and grandma goes from Jesus to Satan real quick. She go, I ain't no mother prostitute. Change your story. Ba-da-da-da. And the reason I'm saying that is because that same woman could love the Lord.
Yeah.
She can love Jesus and really love him, like really praise and worship the Lord, pray for you and everything. Yeah. But if you get on a bad side, it's like, and she gonna curse you out. And it's not and like she hates you, but yeah.
And that's what Tyler Perry did with Medea. You know what I mean? Like Medea is supposed to be this Christian, but Medea got a side to her. And he used that with the black community to be like, y'all know everybody grandmama is pretty much like Medea. You know what I mean? Like my grandmother was a praying woman and good, but I could hear my grandmother tell a joke or talk about the neighbors and I'd be like, okay, she's still my grandmother. You see what I'm saying? Like I feel like, and let's not act like we don't know Christian hip hop artists that do this stuff too, right? That talk a different way behind the scenes and do an interview and sound totally different.
But I think we have a higher standard though. I think we have a higher standard for Christian rappers though.
No, but here's the thing. That's not my point. My point is not, you cuss in secret, so just go ahead and cuss in your album. That's not the point. My point is, why hide who you really are? My real question to you is, why are you doing that at all, period? I'm not saying it's a sin. I'm not saying you're not going to heaven. I'm not saying any of that stuff. But it just reflects like this.
Sean said I wanted the whole album. Stop.
It just no. I'm just talking about in general. I'm talking about Christian rappers.
Yeah,
Kanye.
They want credit,
grandma,
Sean. They want credit with God.
I'm talking about
grandma.
Why not really seek to be who you portraying yourself to be? Why not seek that? And if it's not who you think you should be, then why pretend it is? Like,
I think that they are, but I think it's a vice for them. You see what I'm saying? Like, I think.
But there's no excuse. Like if
they're saying I came from the streets and I came from this area and I'm about this life and I was about that life at one time. So it's hard for them to downplay what's naturally in them.
All I'm trying to say is that no excuses. Who are you supposed to be? Who is God making you into? If you think cursing is okay, really, truly, why then hide it in order to fit into a box that you don't want to be in? Like, there's going to be people who aren't going to accept you for doing that. That's what it is. Like, I just don't understand.
It's going to be majority of the people though.
But that's fine. But I just don't understand the pretending. If you don't really want to be that, why pretend to be that? There's people who are actually that. So let them do it.
A lot of people call it acting. I just don't
understand why not seek to really be that? Why not seek to really change the way you speak? Why not seek to really be who you portray yourself to be? If you see that as the way it's supposed to be, I just don't get the excuses. I'm from no, like you could do better. I've grown tremendously since I first got saved, right? A long time ago, but you know what I'm saying? Like I've grown tremendously. I just don't get the idea of I'm gonna portray myself this way, but you know how I really get there.
But it's our upbringing too.
I just don't get that.
It's our upbringing too. I didn't grow up in a household where anybody cussed, so I don't cuss, and no one in my household is ever gonna cuss, right? So it's a lot of that too. And I'll say this: I think that a lot of people are looking for credit, in a sense. They're looking for the credit to say, hey, give me credit for trying to be in this space. Give me credit for trying to do this the right way, or wanting to do this the right way. And I think a lot of it has to do with the environment that is still around you. That's a hard pill to swallow.
I would just be very nervous, not career wise or whatever. I would just be nervous with Jesus if I knew for sure I was pretending in front of the church and living a different life in front of my friends. You see what I'm saying? Like if I came on here,
doing that,
huh?
You think Kanye's doing that?
No. I'm on to Christian rappers now.
Okay. Because I'm like,
so for instance,
Christian rap.
The only thing people could say that like, well, Sean, you do say the N-word sometimes in the meetings. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I'm not gonna get on here and be like I don't say it. Like, yeah, I do. Okay, I don't say it
you
for
don't
y'all
say the
because out of
N-word,
respect.
Sean.
Sometimes I do. So
No,
so,
you say it as a descriptive word, but you're not calling us that. You've never called me your N. You've used the descriptive word.
That's an unnecessary
to say,
distinction. But the point is,
right? But just say it's a descriptive word because it's more like it meant ignorance at one
you're
time.
going too deep into it. The point is that somebody would say that. Well, yeah, but Sean, you say this when you're not on the show, but you don't say it now. I'm not talking about out of respect. If you really believe it's not wrong and you only don't curse out of respect, that's different. I'm telling you, I don't even think I'm wrong when I do it. When I do say that, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm telling you straight up, I don't even think it's wrong. I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad at all. So what I'm saying is that just be plain about it. Like I understand people's money is attached to this. I understand there's fans that would see you different. If I just try to be it if you really think it's right, and don't pretend if you really don't think it's wrong.
But you know what? If people do come out this way and they're if they decide to say, okay, I'm gonna be what I am or what I feel, then none of this is ever gonna be here because we all sin and fall short of the glory. And so when I think about artists who I know would come out who I hope would never come out and say the N-word on a track, I think about like KB. I do. I think about KB, and I feel like, okay, so KB should have the type of clout, the type of respect, the type of recognition for Christian rap if we give that to Kanye.
Well,
because here's somebody who I feel like is authentic in the walk and would say, okay, I don't live this way, so I'm not going to portray to be this way in my music or behind the scenes.
I think we give people a pass because the packaging they've given us from
yeah.
I think we've given Kanye, if we're going to give Kanye a pass, or we may say the number one quote we always give to people who are new to faith is like they're babies, so they still trying to figure it out. They still got to do that. Versus somebody like a Cray or KB or somebody who's been in our I'm sorry, in our genre for so long that, you know, you expected them to be like not singing their music, you know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I don't know.
Anyway, so all that to say, Donda thought it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I was actually more excited to hear Drake's album, but we'll talk about that one in a second. I was surprised by Kanye's album. It was pretty good. I
don't like the fact that he's getting bad reviews though, like biased reviews. People still hung up, of course, on Trump. They still hung up on slavery as a choice. They still hung up on these other stuff, and
That's fine. That's fine. I don't care about that. I honestly don't care. You know, his beef with Drake. I'm just listening to it just as an album. It has some good stuff on there. I liked it. It was surprising to me. It was better than the last couple things. That's it. That's all.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like people who are reviewing it, and I'm not talking about like regular reviewers on YouTube. I'm talking about people who get paid.
I've been super confused by those people too. I've been super confused. Like, and it just made me realize, like, man, no matter how good of a thing you can make, people are just not gonna like it. That's been the hardest thing for me to grasp, is that you can make something objectively just amazing. There's gonna be people that call it like people call it trash. I'm like, whoa, okay, then I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
What would make you happy then? So anyway, that's Donda.
But
thought it was pretty cool.
I would say this real quick. I do think the world at large, the hip hop community, deems like Kanye so good as a producer that they want better production from him. I think that's what it is.
Better production than I thought. The production was great.
I think when I talked about like the church production, like let's have some more production that's a little better than.
I've been like the last 3 or 4 albums from Kanye. I thought it was great. I thought it was amazing.
Oh wow.
Anyway, let's get back into it. You in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tan, and DJ Jeremiah. Let's